Welcome back in one of the Bears From Plays YouTube channel. Today's Friday, November 8th, and I'm going to be breaking down some more college basketball. We've got the best game of the year on a Friday night for you. Kansas going up against North Carolina. I'm going to be breaking down Army going up against Duke as well. 4 plays in total, 2 game picks, and a double player prop from that North Carolina-Kansas game. Before that, let's check out the Thursday night plays really quick. So far, so good. We were right about DePaul. We were right about Prairie View. It's 45-20 in favor of DePaul at the half. So we have them minus 15. Might have actually got them minus 14.5 if you took it early on Thursday morning. I think it was as low as 14.5. I grabbed it at minus 15, but they're up by 25 points at the half. We can lose the second half by 9 points. I don't think that's going to happen. Should be a win there. This one hurts because I couldn't find him anywhere. I'm sure it was going to be less than 16 points. I'm pretty sure he has 12 points at the half. Hit a couple threes. DePaul is rolling right now. So if anybody found it, let me know. I'll put it as a win or a loss. I think it should be a win because I'm pretty sure he's going to score at least 5 points coming out of the second half. So pretty good day so far on the NCAA side. Let's take a look at the plays for Friday. This one is going to be a doozy. Kansas going up against North Carolina. These teams, they don't like each other. Kansas made that massive comeback for their national title against North Carolina in that second half a few years ago. Both these teams have reloaded, but I think Kansas, they've got a legitimate shot to be the NCAA champs this season. They have so much talent on this roster. It's ridiculous. I'm from the great state of Kansas. All I've heard about for the last several months is how good our basketball team's going to be. This is the best thing since sliced bread was invented. And whenever I take a look at the roster, I got to agree. You have one of the best head coaches in college basketball history, guaranteed Hall of Famer. Now you're adding in some of the best transfers this season. I'm going to start with the Kansas bench, and I'm not entirely sure if these are going to be bench players or starting 5 players because it's going to be probably a completely different lineup than what we saw in the first game. But they ran out 9 players in the first game, playing similar minutes between 18 and 25 minutes. We might see a fresh new starting 5 every 5 minutes. Kansas has A.J. Storr, a transfer from Wisconsin. He had 17 points per game last season. You guys most likely remember him. That's Zeke Mayo. You got to know this name. One of the best scorers in college basketball over the last 2 seasons out of San Diego State, scoring 19 points per game. And that one, that's going to be the starting point guard for Kansas. They now have Rylan Griffin, a sharpshooter from Alabama. He was a major part of their tournament run last season. He's a major player for this team now. They added in David Colt, one of the best players in the MAC conference. I think he was the leading scorer in the MAC conference, 20.8 points per game last season. They also have a true freshman, 6'10". He plays the power forward position, 13 points in the first game. He's just a smidge bigger than KJ Adams. And oh yeah, that's right. They have KJ Adams, Hunter Dickinson, and Dwayne Harris Jr. from last season. So there is a lot of talent on this team. Unbelievable what they were able to do with the transfer portal. That's just Bill Self doing his thing. For North Carolina, R.J. Davis. I mean, that's the name. R.J. Davis is back. They bring back a few more players from the team last season, but nobody who made a huge impact last season for them. I do think North Carolina is going to be a fine team this season. R.J. Davis is on your team, so you're going to be in a lot of games. But Kansas, they have literally 4 guys from the transfer portal who averaged 18-plus points per game last season, and they have returning starters of Dickinson, KJ, Adams, and Harris. This is the best team that Bill Self has ever assembled. I'm going to take them in their first test here, -7 as the play for the second play of the day. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. We have Duke going up against Army. It's going to be tough sledding for Army in basketball this season, I think. They have a couple good players, but the transfer portal, it's a powerful thing. If you can't get a lot of transfers, you're not going to be a very good team. Army doesn't have a lot of transfers because a lot of people don't want to go to Army and have to serve. That is not something that I'm saying is a negative thing. I think you should be very proud to serve your country if you're going to Army, but unless you go straight to the pros, there's a mandatory serve for athletes that go into the academy. So they don't usually get a lot of help with some of the transfer portals. They don't usually get a lot of help with some of the best players in the nation. So that's going to make things tough for Army. For the Duke Blue Devils, they've got everything you want. They've got the number 1 player in basketball right now, Cooper Flagg. He's going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. He's most likely going to score 20-plus points per game. They also have a true freshman, Con Newpel, who actually outscored Cooper Flagg in the first game. He put up 22 points, and this team's going to be a big problem for Army down low. Duke has some size. Their 2 best players in this game are going to be the center and the power forward. This is going to be a long day for Army on the glass. I'm going to go with Duke against the spread. I won't be surprised if this is -20+, but I'm going to take whatever it comes out at as the play. For the best plays of the day on the player prop side, we are going to be looking at the same game. It's going to be North Carolina going up against Kansas. We're going to take the 2 point guards in this game to battle each other out. It's going to be R.J. Davis in North Carolina. We're also going to be taking Zeke Mayo of the Kansas Jayhawks. And I'm being honest with you guys. Zeke Mayo, actually scares me a little bit more than RJ Davis because Kansas has so many mouths to feed. And like I said in the breakdown, they have 4 guys transferring over to this team who scored 18 plus points per game last season, not counting the 3 returning starters from last season. So I'm not entirely sure who the main guy this season is going to be. I have to assume it's going to be Zeke Mayo because he's going to have the ball in his hands the most. We know exactly what's going to happen with North Carolina. They don't have Baycott anymore. They don't have Leaky Black anymore, even though I think he's been gone for a couple seasons. But this is now RJ Davis's team. It's been RJ Davis's team for the last 2 seasons. Last season, he struggled just a little bit to shoot. That was the first season without Caleb Love for North Carolina because he went over to Arizona because there was some beef with RJ and Caleb dating the same women at the same time, whatever that was. But Caleb's now with the Cards. This team now belongs to RJ Davis. Last season, scored 20-plus points per game. This season, he's going to score 20-plus points per game. He's going to shoot 18 to 22 times per game. This is just what he does. This is the kind of guy he is. He can kill you from anywhere. He's very good at driving. He's very good at making his deep shots. He's good at the line. I'm going to play RJ Davis any way I can in this game against Kansas. And going over to Zeke Mayo now, I just don't know. I'm going to play him no matter what. Over 15.5 for me seems like the limit. So this graphic's just a little bit off. 15.5 seems like it's a good amount. I think everybody for this Jayhawks team, they're going to be projected to score 10-plus points. So it's going to be really hard to determine what guy is going to be the guy every other night. I do think Zeke Mayo is going to be shooting the ball the most because that's what he did at South Dakota State. The last 2 seasons scoring 19 points per game. So the graphic, again, a little bit wrong, I guess. Going to play RJ Davis any way I can. 20-plus points, sure, why not? But for Zeke Mayo, I think we got to cap it. Let's cap it at 16.5 points. I don't want to go any higher than that because, again, this KU team, so many mouths to feed. Give me RJ Davis over his total points. Zeke Mayo over his total points, played up to 16.5 as the 2-player props for tonight. Let's go over to the recap graphic. Kansas -7 or -6.5 going up against UNC. I saw it was trending down, so I put -6.5 here on the graphic. But if it's -7, I'll play -7. Then Duke against the spread going up against Army. And then we have RJ Davis over his total points. I'll play that 20-plus points, whatever it comes out at. I'm going to play it no matter what. And then Zeke Mayo, let's cap this one off at 16.5. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 13.5, 14.5 as the play for tomorrow. But that's going to do it, guys, for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Friday. November 8th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.